Hi, how you doing? I'm Ty Knight here for TK24 Sports. Now, on today's show, we're looking at the possibility of Arsenal signing one of these three strikers. And which striker would you like to go for? Once we've broken it down, giving you the stats, giving you the goals they've scored, the games they've played, and most importantly, the height of the striker. So, sit back, relax, and make sure you watch the entirety of the show so you don't miss at the end of who I think will be the better suited one. Ready? Here we go. So, we're looking at Olie Watkins, Dominic Calvert Lewin, and of course, Vlahovic. Now, a lot of fans right now are demanding on Twitter, social media, you name it, they're talking to their grandmas. They want Vlahovic. But is he all that compared to these other three strikers? Now, what's going to pop up on the screen right now are all the players' stats. As you can see, we are looking at Dominic Calvert Lewin, 24, nationality English, of course, right foot player, but he has been injured for the majority of this season. And then the next contender, of course, is Vlahovic, 21 years old. Now, he is 6'2", left foot player. And last but not least, Olie Watkins, 26 years old, predominantly right-footed, 5'8". 5'8". So, which one's going to be better suited for Arsenal? Which one's going to be better, more suited for Mikel Arteta's style of play? It's not about what we want as a fans. Of course, sometimes it is, but it's what's going to be best suited for Arsenal and the way we're playing at this moment in time and what Arteta could be looking for with the new style of formation, tactics, and speed of play. So let's look at Olie Watkins. We're going to look at Olie Watkins first. Not saying he's the least favourable, but when we break it down, 5'8", so far this season, we look at his stats. There's total games 16 played, 15 has started, and he's only scored 5 in the Premier League so far. 5 big chances missed, but we look at his heat map. He can play left wing, right wing, and as a striker, as I'm looking at, as what you're seeing here now. But his heat map is predominantly to the left, and heavily to the left, and not in the goal mouth. And that's because, of course, they've signed Danny Ings as well, who's in and out of the team. But out of the 16 games, 15 started, 5 goals. I mean, Emil Smith-Rowe has scored more than him. Martinelli, who's hardly played this season, is not far behind him, I think, with 4 Premier League goals. Odegaard, 4 Premier League goals. So, would we say that Olie Watkins would be the sort of striker at £36 million rated so far on SofaScore? I'm not too sure this is the guy that's going to bring us forward and do anything else for Arsenal to take us to that next level of being Premier League contenders, fighting for the Premier League, get back into the Champions League or Europa League and being the leading man to take Arsenal forward. I could be wrong, but at 5'8", is he going to jump or out-jump anyone? Is he going to be able to build up the attack from the front? Can he do a pressing game from the front? Yes, he could. He's got a bit of pace about him. He has got a nasty streak as well, which I like a lot. I really like that a lot about strikers. But I just don't think he's going to be the one to bring us forward. So I'll dismiss him straight away. I think this shootout today, what we're going to be talking about, is between DCL, Dominic Calvert Lewin, and Vlahovic. So let's look at Calvert Lewin. Now, he's 6'1". This guy's a powerhouse. But when you look at the heat map, he's more concentrated within that 6-yard box. And that's the way Everton play. But there's not enough stats so far this season. Bearing in mind, he's been out injured for the majority of the season. At the start of the season, he played the 3 games. He was on fire. 3 games, 3 goals. And now he's played the 4th game. So there's not much data to go about it. But we all know about Dominic Calvert-Lewin here in the Premier League. We know he's a big guy. He's got a great first touch, great in the air. He is a great physical specimen. I sound like I'm talking about Captain America when I say that. But we're talking about Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He has a great right foot, but he's great in the air when it comes to headering in his own box for defending and in the opponent's box as well. With the way Arsenal play now, you know how they bring in the ball out. Sometimes through the middle, they go wide, they can cross the ball in. With a play like this guy, he can dominate in the air, and this is what Arsenal need. Also, a key factor about Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he's British, he knows the Premier League, he knows the speed of it. But the caveat about Dominic Calvert-Lewin, you're almost really screaming about it right now. His injury record, it is poor. And when he gets injured, he gets injured. If you know what I mean when I say that, injured. This guy goes down, he goes down. And that could be a cause of concern. But I would still bring him in. But there's a new boy on the block right now. Arsenal fans heating up social media. As much as his agent is turning around and saying, we don't know right now whether or not this is going to be the move for him. He doesn't even look at Arsenal. He's got better suitors. Agents are just talking rubbish right now, because if Arsenal put those readies on the table, you know this guy's head can be turned. So could Fiorentina as well. So what's going to be better for Dominic Calvert Lewin? Let's look at him. Let's look at his stats. This is what you really truly come here to see. Vlahovic. Look at that damn heat map. Woo! Looks like a volcano's erupted right there. 19 games, 19 starts, 16 goals in Serie A. Left-footed, he is 6'2", ladies and gentlemen. 6'2". He is a big guy. But he's only had 2 big chances that he's missed. Out of all the games he's played, 19, 16 goals, 2 big chances. To me, that's nothing. But one big report has come out that his first touch is not so great, but he's 21. He can work on that. Arteta can get the best out of him. And his work rate is not so great either. But being 21 and there are times where you can improve in a player, and sometimes taking that next step, you can get the right coach, the right coaching team, the arm around you, and just build upon your game. I'm not saying if Arsenal sign this guy, he's got to stay here for life. Well, we can sign him. We can send him after he hits 25, 26, maybe 27, and still not just get our money back, but make profit on it as well and get the next best thing. Do I think Vlahovic can suit Arsenal's style of play over Calvert Lewin? I'm saying 50-50. I really am. If Calvert Lewin didn't have the injury record that he had, I mostly would take Calvert Lewin over Vlahovic. And the reason being is because Calvert Lewin is tried and tested in the Premier League. Vlahovic is only having this great season now. And while he's only got 18 months on his contract, maybe his agent has really just, gone to war with this one to say, listen, you've got 18 months left. You're having a great season. We're going to have to cash in on this somehow, some way. And they're doing it right now. So while most people are on social media going crazy for Vlahovic, they should really look at Dominic Calvert-Lewin. One, he's not going to cost as much, and yes, he's British. But the caveat for Calvert-Lewin is his injury record. But we don't know much about Vlahovic, what happens when he gets injured, how long he stays injured for. So sometimes we're going to have to take our feelings out of it by looking at someone on YouTube saying, Matt, we've got to get this guy. This is the guy, the next Haaland. Haaland's only 2 years older than him, if that. But when I look at Vlahovic, 6'2", I've seen highlights of him. I haven't been able to watch, a many amount of games of Vlahovic to turn around and say, yeah, I like what I'm seeing. The reports are true about the first touch, the teamwork. But when I'm looking at this heat map, I don't know how much more work rate someone has to do compared to, I know it's only 5 games of a Calvert Lewin. But when you look at a Calvert Lewin, he's predominantly in the box. But that's because that's where the goals are being scored. A little bit more to the right, nothing really to the left. He does get about. So, 10, 15 games after this, we may see much more. But when we look at a Calvert Lewin from the season before, that's what we're looking at. What are we looking at? We're looking at 33 Premier League games he's played. 32 of them have been started and 16 goals. Remember, he does play for Everton, so they're not the most attacking team. But when you look at that heat map, it does show you he is everywhere. And that's because he is a good all-round player. We're trying to replace, not Aubameyang, we're trying to replace Lacazette. And then when we look at Vlahovic for the season before, what do we look at? 37 games, 34 started, 21 goals. Calvert-Lewin, 33 games, 32 started, and 16 goals. Right, what about Olie Watkins? What are we saying about him? 37 games, 37 played, 14 goals. All right, so we know we did dismiss Olie Watkins. Would he be a good backup player if we went for him as well? And then we didn't have to have a shootout between who do we sign? A Vlahovic or a Calvert Lewin? Vlahovic, Calvert Lewin. You know what? I'm going to leave this one down to you guys. I've given you the stats there. I've given you the data. I even gave you the last bit there to try and make it easier. But it's kind of hard. You are looking at Vlahovic, 34 games, 21 goals. You're looking at Calvert Lewin. This is last season, 32 games started, 16 goals. You are going to still turn around and most really say, Ty, it's got to be Vlahovic. I mean, come on. But Calvert Lewin, you've got to look at him and say, if you play for this Arsenal team, with the build-up play, his strength, his physicality, could he bang in at least 25, maybe 30 goals? Because we are now creating chances, and this is what it's all about. Who is better fit for Arsenal? Leave a comments below. If you've got this far, like, subscribe, turn that notification on, and share it to someone who will actually appreciate this video. We'll see you soon. Happy watching Wednesday. I'm Ty Knight for TK24 Sports.